was the largest Roman engineering work in northwestern Greece. It was 50 kilometers long, where it crossed rivers and mountains. Its structure included channels, tunnels, and bridges. This is Adventure by Footnotes. I'm Esteban, your guide for today, and together we're going to explore the ruins of the Aqueduct of Nicopolis, while I'll tell you a little bit about its history. Nicopolis is located in Greece, in the region of Epirus, in the northwest of the country, 175 kilometers from Patra and just 5 kilometers from Preveza. The Nicopolis Aqueduct began at the Springs of St. George, 30 kilometers to the northeast. It ran for 50 kilometers and ended at the Nymphaeum, where the water was collected into cisterns to be later distributed throughout the city. This aqueduct materialized in three possible ways: as a tunnel when it crossed mountains, as a vaulted channel when it ran down the slopes of mountains, or as a suspended channel built on a bridge with multiple arches, when it crossed the space between mountains or when it ran through a plain. Although its route is well documented, the aqueduct can only be seen in a few places. Let's see some of those places. The aqueduct began at the Springs of St. George, where the water was collected in a cistern and traveled about 230 meters through a channel on the slope of a mountain. The channel was between 75 and 80 centimeters wide and 120 centimeters high, and it was covered with hydraulic cement. The channel could be dug directly into the rock or be built by walls of stones and bricks. Then it crossed over the Louros River on two bridges. The North Bridge is in worse condition, and it is believed to be the oldest of the two. Both bridges, however, maintain some of their former glory. Before continuing, a bit of history. This aqueduct originally was thought to have been built by the Emperor Octavian. However, nowadays, the construction is attributed to the Emperor Hadrian. In the 4th century CE, the aqueduct suffered extensive damage and was repaired on the order of the Emperor Julian. It stopped working in the middle of the 5th century with the decline of the city of Nicopolis and the construction of the Paleo-Christian walls. The aqueduct then continued along the side of the current road in a southerly direction to become a tunnel dug directly into the rock heading west. Unfortunately, the tunnel is closed to the public, at least on this end. There are at least 3 other places where you can see the aqueduct before it reached the city of Nicopolis. As we said before, the aqueduct ended at the Nymphaeum. The Nymphaeum is not maintained at the moment, and it was impossible for us to explore it. And now, you might be wondering, why the aqueduct was 50 kilometers long if the distance to be covered was only 30 kilometers? For the water to flow correctly, a very precise slope is necessary. If the channel had no slope, the water would become stagnated. And if the channel had too much slope, it would create erosion in the structure. The engineers had to take advantage of the orography of the place for the aqueduct to have the right inclination, even if this would result in an additional 20 kilometers of travel. Unfortunately, there is no public transport to get to these sites. Access to the places is unrestricted except for the tunnel. To visit them all, you need 1 hour plus travel time. If you're in the area, we recommend exploring the rest of the Nicopolis ruins, which include a theater, an Odeon, baths, walls, and much more. And that's all for today. See you in the next adventure.